wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made, so they are without excuse. For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, but they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things.
He really wants me to bark at you guys, so.
Therefore God gave them up in the lusts of their hearts to impurity, to the dishonoring of their bodies among themselves, because they exchanged the truth about God for a lie, and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
I'm trying to shut you away from the patients.
Yeah, because it's working. Because you're afraid of what's going to happen if those mothers don't get in there to kill their children.
I'm more worried about the mental effect you have on people.
I know, you're
the
more
reason
worried.
They regret their choices.
Yeah, you're more worried about hurting people's me hurting someone's feelings than those monsters in there chopping up a child. I know. Your moral compass is broken. It's a heart issue.
Yours is so much
We
better.
talked about this. Mine is based on something above me. I can't depend on myself. I've explained this to you plenty of
I
times.
depend on myself?
No, you can't. Because the heart of man is desperately wicked and deceitful above all things, especially when we are apart from Christ and in open rebellion against the God that we know exists. And that's where you are, Cassidy. You know God to be God. You know who He exists. You know that we're doing the right thing out here, and you're terrified to actually stand up and do what you know to be right. Because you say yourself, you wouldn't bring your child out here. That's because you know that this is an evil, wicked place
Well,
that
I
sheds
do
the
bring
blood
her
of
out
children.
here. I just don't bring her on the hill.
There's no justifying what you do, Cassidy. There's none.
I don't care. I'm not trying to
I know.
justify myself.
I know you're not. That's because it's a heart issue.
Even if your God was
because-
real, I still wouldn't follow him.
You know him to be real, Cassidy. That's the problem. You know that God is real. You know him to be God, but you've exchanged the truth of that God for a lie. You said so yourself. You grew up in the church. You grew up knowing all of this to be true. And then you fell into sin. And then you turned away from God and rebelled against him because you were angry with your parents or whoever it was that hurt you in the past.
Oh, I'm
And
not
it brought
hurt.
you brought you to a point where you were in such rebellion against God and in such flagrant, just absolute hatred of God
Maybe you
that you
should
can't
come
even
down
see
harder on the people
that
who are
you
supposed
can't
to foster
even
that
see
faith.
you can't even see the reality of what you're doing and what's happening in front of your face.